Hi, Dan here. I hope you're doing well. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can really move your technique several levels forward by making up your own bass guitar technical exercises, okay? And we need a kind of blueprint. We need some notes that are going to work. And broadly speaking, you have two sort of routes you can go down. You've got the kind of mechanical, slightly boring sounding exercises, but that are very useful for you. And you've got the musical ones. Let's start off mechanical. So I'm talking about these sort of things. You may have seen them. You know, that kind of thing. I'm going across one string there. This time across the neck. Now, first things first is you've got to be aware as a bass player what techniques there are and therefore what you need to concentrate on. Now, people who watch this channel, I have people that started bass yesterday, and I've got people that watch this that have been playing bass for 40 or 50 years. Okay, so depending on what your level, you're going to know this. Okay, but let me just quickly go through some of the main bass techniques that we really, as bass players, need to nail. So first of all, it's just coordination, strength, stamina, the hands working together. Speed. That kind of thing. And these exercises are quite good. This is one finger per fret. So for example, if I have my finger on the 5th fret of the G string, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. On frets 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's one finger per fret. And these are good for that. You don't need to get any books or anything. I've actually written a book called Creative Bass Technique Exercises. Check it out if you want. I've also got a free book. I'll put a link below, which has got a lot of these in it, okay? But you don't need those. You can make your own up. That's the whole point of this lesson. Okay, so let's just say you want to get a little bit of the coordination going. You might stay on the 5th fret here. You've got your thumb behind the neck, there. I've got my wrist straight. I'm keeping the fingers quite curled, not rigid and collapsing. I'm muting here. Can you see? That's the thumb there muting, and I'm alternating fingers. That's what I'm working on, your basic fingerstyle bass technique. Fretting right by the fret, not there. I want a nice clean tone. Okay, so you can go this way, string crossing. That presents a problem as soon as you have to move different strings, okay? So you might work on that. Let's say that is a problem for you. Let's move away from this. Let's go away from mechanical and slightly more musical. Here's a major scale. I'm going to play A major. Sounds a little bit more musical, at least. Ascending, descending. How about that? Now let's sequence it a little bit. That means just instead of going from the lowest to the highest note, let's do thirds, okay? So what you do is you just find where the third note is away from the first note, and you jump straight to it. Then you go to the second note and do the same thing. You jump over the next note. You carry on doing that. You need to know the scale pattern to be able to do that really well. But that's excellent for your, plucking this direction and plucking that direction. Not to mention your speed, and it also sounds quite good as well. There's a whole bunch of exercises that you can do based around scales and sequencing. 4. And then 4 on the first note, then 4 on the second note, and so on. What about different rhythms? It just sounds a little bit less boring, and you're playing rhythms. One of my favorite exercises, if you've watched this channel over the last couple of weeks, you'll know this, is where you take in this case, C major scale. You play the 7th arpeggio that you get from that. So it's just the 1st, 3rd, 5th, and 7th notes. Followed by the scale, and you do that throughout the whole C major scale. That in itself is a great exercise, but what you can do is, as a kind of blueprint of notes in order to make your own exercise, this is a really good thing. So I recommend learning that, and let's explore a few different technical avenues we can go down. The potential here really, really is endless. Let's take the second degree of the C major scale, where you have a Dorian mode, okay? Don't worry if you don't know the name of the notes or the mode or whatever. Just know the collection of notes, and I'll put that tab below so you can learn it. And let's say you really want to get your hammer-ons and your pull-offs down. Well, now we've got 6 notes. Let's just do 6 notes, and we can go. I'm hammering on from the first to the third finger there, and then the third to the fourth. And I'm literally making this up as we go. If you do similar and you like what you hear, tab it down, okay? I'm usually a big advocate of notes over tab, but tab is excellent for this because it's literally exactly where you want it to be played, okay? So tab anything you like down. I'm going hammer on followed by plucks, 2 plucks, D to E, and then E to F, same thing. Now let's go G to A, and then A to B. You've got extended fingering here. We had 1 finger per fret. Now we got this extended fingering. It's a bit of a stretch there. So we're working on coordination, hammer-ons, and stretch. And this, by the way, when I wrote my book, I very much, before I did anything, I was thinking, right, what do we need to work on here? And I would think about it like this, and I'd like you to do that as well. If this is too difficult, go back to basics. Go up a scale to the 5th note, back down again. That's it. You can tailor this to where you're at. When we get to here, we can come back down. Now, why I like this sort of thing is because it sounds quite nice and musical. And for me anyway, if I'm doing stuff that sounds good, I'm more likely to do it more, okay? If I play stuff that sounds a bit more like the music that I'm hearing, then I'm going to practice more. Let's move to another favorite scale, the A minor pentatonic, or minor pentatonic. And that's kind of what I was doing at the beginning. There really isn't a better collection of notes for me. They sound amazing. And now what I'm doing, hammer on, followed by a ghost note. Absolutely trying not to get a harmonic, so that's muting as well. So these are the essential techniques, as well as hand shifting, okay? Getting to different portions of the bass. Now when I'm doing this, I'm thinking of those things. So I'm going hammer on, this is on fret 5 to 7 on the G string, followed by that ghost note. And I'm using more than 1 finger to deaden the string. And then I'm just doing the same thing on the D string and on the A. And then I'm shifting to frets 3 and 5 on the A, and then 3 and 5 on the E. It adheres to the pattern of the minor pentatonic scale, and it sounds good. Then I can go up 2 frets and do the same thing, and then up to the E, 12th to 14th fret. Don't run before you can walk. So don't do that stuff if you're just starting out and you're just wanting to get a bit more coordinated. Start simply. Let's say, however, you wanted to do some slap stuff. I want to get my slap technique together. How do I do this? Create some exercises. The minor pentatonic scale sounds great for that. You know, you've got the thumb part of slap. Bony parts, keeping it quite parallel. Lots of different ways of doing this. Do the way you do it. Bouncing off the string. There's the octave. And that's just the minor pentatonic notes. They all work. That's what I mean by this blueprint. Just get the set of notes that works. And let's just... Okay, Okay, that's my exercise, octaves. Let's move to different notes. Here, I'm playing the octaves and I'm holding the other strings to mute them. When I go to the 7th fret of the A string there, I'm touching the tip of my finger under the string to mute that. So I'm practicing octaves, the thumb, the pop, and muting. They're very deliberate, conscious things I'm doing here for this particular exercise. I mean, I say exercise, it sounds like a bass line, doesn't it? And a slide. There's a hammer on at the top. First finger there, rolling, playing it almost with this part of the finger. Well, not almost, definitely with that part of the finger. These notes work really, really well, so use them. If you like to play with the plectrum or you want to learn, then let's explore that, okay? Now, I'm doing this in real time. You know, I would think about this a lot more if I were to sort of write another exercise book or what have you. But let's do this. Let's go to D, or change things a little bit. We'll go to the D on the 5th fret of the A string. And this time, another scale that you definitely should know. That's the natural minor, D natural minor, okay? And I want to practice downstrokes with picking some anchor somewhere. So I'm anchored here. These are downstrokes. Okay, I want to practice those, okay? But I want some notes that are going to sound good. Pretty random, actually. I wasn't doing anything too, you know, prescriptive there. Just playing. Thirds, and then just keeping these consistent, and I'm just playing those notes and sounds good. What about down, up? This is alternate picking. So I'm going down, up, down, and then the second down, I've got to go down a bit more to jump over the D string in order to do an up, because I'm going down, up, down, up. And I'm just doing the first 5 notes of the scale. And when I get to there, coming back again. That's a good exercise. Okay, maybe I'll start on the second note and do exactly the same thing. All I hope that this lesson is going to do is just give you a few ideas. Because if I'm doing this in real time, that might not be the greatest exercise. I could maybe develop this idea a bit more. I want you to have similar sort of ideas. Now, you may hate plectrum, doesn't matter. You may want to play slap. You may just want to get your fingerstyle playing. I hope that you can see that you need to be quite deliberate with your intention with this, you know. So take whatever ideas you liked from this lesson. If you are the kind of person that just loves to drill those ideas, do it. I know I'm not, even though I have done these exercises before. If you like the musical sounding ones, just you know, who doesn't love that sound? It's amazing. So maybe take the minor pentatonic and just go up and down it. If it's slap, just thumbs there, and just doing thumb. Come up with your own thing. Definitely get some paper and record using tab. This is a good example of where tab is excellent, and tab exactly where it is that you're playing this. Maybe write some notes. I'm working on fingerstyle only, fingerstyle muting. And then just, if you get into the habit of doing this, do, if you're interested in it, check out my book, and there's the free one as well, because it's good. I mean, you know, to get ideas. But what I really want to do with this channel is to kind of teach you how to teach yourself, how to get better yourself. So it's taking responsibility, isn't it? It's learning rhythms if you're not so hot on that. It's learning how to read if you want to do that. It's learning, you know, how to take your sort of bass destiny into your own hands, really. And that's, you've got your own way you want to go, and I hope that this helps you get your technique much better. I hope some of that made sense. Thanks very much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time.